Hello and welcome to the third Virtual Shake Up. I'm here with Heather and Jyrki, my two fellow co-hosts, and I'd like to welcome you to this virtual event. So let's bring Heather and Jyrki onto the screen. Hello guys, it's great to see you again. It's been 3 months, believe it or not, since the last Virtual Shake Up. First of all, Jyrki, what new trends, what things have changed since we were here last time?
Good, great question, Ralph. And I also have to say it's good to see you too. It's been a while, too long, I'd say. Well, first of all, I think already in the first quarter of the year, we've been seeing some super interesting success stories from the customer side, at least, where these sort of digital products have been able to surpass the in-person events in regards of profit. And of course, we're quite honored to be in the intersection of helping these companies to succeed and possibly even reshape their business models going forward with and into hybrid. And maybe if one more addition to that is that I do also have to say that we're seeing a clear trend in the market at the moment in regards of market segmentation on a massive industry like ours, so virtual hybrid events going forward. I think what we sometimes forget to focus on, at least in the broader sense of the industry media and what's on top of mind people, is that it's increasingly different needs of these different types of event organizers dependent on their individual event concepts and business models. So it's not really a one-size-fits-all market at all. And if you, for example, grab these sort of trade show or exhibition or organizer needs versus professional B2B conferences, these needs look increasingly different from the vendor perspective. And what that means for us is that we need to understand our customer better and even more in depth than ever before. And we need to be able to help run their business models successfully. And that's what we're also committed to do at Brella.
Heather, I'm interested in your opinion on the same question because, of course, parts of the US are starting to open up. There have been some announcements recently about trade shows in Vegas, for instance, Florida, where you're based. What things have changed since 3 months ago for you, and how are you seeing the future?
So I believe that what you're seeing with the in-person is that I think, event organizers are absolutely saying we must come back. And I think audiences want to go back and sponsors and exhibitors want to go back. So looking at the states that are enabling that, Las Vegas and Florida, and successful events have happened safely and have not been super spreader events. Surf Expo was live. Now Reed's JIS event is happening, I think, as I speak, in Orlando. So I think we're ready to move. I think the event community has absolutely taken COVID and the safety protocols, not only seriously. I think they're innovating about how to actually bring crowds or people together in a safe manner. So that's one thing. So again, really great innovation from the event industry. What I also see, though, as a trend, to back up what Jyrki just said, is that event organizers, 2020 was a rush to find a platform. We've got to convert our event. And, the depth of decision making that went into that was not in depth at all. Now they're like, okay, I have different types of events that have different requirements. We're going to pressure test this, and we want to make a selection and have a partner for a long term. And maybe they need 3 partners for trade shows or hosted buyer events, etc. But they're spending a lot more time in involving the right stakeholders in the decision-making process. And the third thing I'm seeing is that the way that they're looking at their event tech stack is about 365 always-on experiences and engagement. And so it's not just virtual or hybrid events or in person anymore. There's community, there's content, there's like, how are we going to continue to engage? Because those that do that are the winners. So those are the 3 things I'm seeing in addition to the in-person.
Well, it seems like a good time to have a look at what's coming up, because particularly Content Hub or Content 365, that's very topical, how you create engaging content. And I think as well, just exploring a little bit more about the differences that we're seeing around the world, because just to put an opinion from the UK and Europe, we are seeing good progress against COVID, but we're all still in lockdown. And I think one of the other areas, because I'm interested in AV, is just the move to hybrid and what that means, and some frankly ridiculous quotes for AV for hybrid events, which I might talk about a bit later on, certainly in the roundtable. So kind of how do you do it? What should you do? What's best practice? But first of all, let's have a little look at what's coming up. The whole world knows the Forbes brand as a leading provider of premium content, and Alison Williams is in the studio to show us how Forbes are using data to reach C-level executives and other hard-to-reach influencer communities at scale. Event.video talked to real event producers like you from SalesLoft, Wellbeing at Work, and FinTech South about how to harness the power of video and AV, as well as learning how they've adapted and thrived in these changing times. Rafat Ali is live in the studio with Heather talking about digital disruption and how the events industry is facing its Napster moment. And I talked to Lauren Leno about how to design content experiences for the future with a fascinating look into how she attracts top speakers like Edward Snowden. Diane Schwartz gives us an insight into the power of brand and community as we dig deeper into fueling brand loyalty. And every video creator knows VidCon, but how have they adapted to going virtual? Jim Louderbeck joins us to talk about delivering value, connections, and collaboration. If you've got a question for one of the speakers, you'll find the chat on the stream tab along with the polls as well. But if you want to dig a little deeper, why not join one of the roundtable sessions, which you'll find on the roundtables tab on the left-hand side of Brella. And last but not least, we have prizes. We'll be giving away some Brella swag and more to the most engaged delegates during the show. So please get involved with the chat, visit the partner booths, and arrange some meetings with people of interest. You never know, as well as making some great connections, you might also win a prize. So Heather, I want to find out from you, action-packed agenda today. What are you looking forward to?
So my goal with the agenda over the next 2 days was is to bring to the forefront what I call white space opportunity thinking. And that's why you see such an incredible mix of speakers and not your traditional event organizers. Yes, we have, Kate Spellman, CMO of Questix. I'm so excited to talk to her. But we also brought on Tonya Rees from Edelman to talk about this trust barometer, which is so important today in terms of brands, events, etc. I'm also excited about the fact that most of these sessions are going to be addressing data, the importance of data, how to activate and monetize it, community, the power of brand, and also some sales innovation, like how do I take all this and actually go to market? So those are the things I'm really excited about today.
Great. And Jyrki, why don't you tell us a little bit about how to get the most from Brella? I've got actually my Brella set up here. You can't quite see me over my name tag there, but just tell people how to make the most of the Brella platform.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely, if you haven't opted in networking yet, I do highly recommend to do so right away. This way, the engine of Brella will be able to recommend people for you to meet in this event based on those business needs you have at the moment. I do also recommend to spend some time on the list whilst you're sort of tuning into the content simultaneously. Take a look at the recommendations, but also utilize the filtering segmentation tool to find sort of more laser sharp searches from other industry pros. In the end, in our event today, we have a massive amount of collective knowledge and people open to network and with these industry peers. Overall, we're living quite a time of uncertainty and open questions. So in this industry, so let's learn from each other, and this way we can be stronger together.
Well, we have a poll running. It's one of the things that we're measuring for people who are interested in getting some Brella swag from the happiest country on the planet, Finland, for the 4th time running. And what a happy guy there we have as well from Brella. So I'm just going to show you the results. Now, if you're thinking, what is Ralph talking about? Where is the poll? You will find this on the stream tab. So if you're on the home page with all of the different actions there, just head to the stream tab. You'll see the chat on the right-hand side and the polls. So if you want to take part in the polls, that's where they are. And we've got some people here, not surprisingly, Helsinki, Columbus, Ohio, where we've got a big team. It's good to see. UK seems to be getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to take that off before it gets too contentious. But yeah, you'll see polls throughout the session. Well, thanks very much, guys, for introducing us to this edition of the Virtual Shake Up. We'll be back shortly with the next session with Heather, and I'm really interested to find out, Heather, more about Forbes and their strategy.